Hi there, students. Okay, it's a while since I've done one of these essay corrections. This is the correction of a narrative. And the question is, write a fairy story that ends with the words, "And at these words he crumbled to dust on the doorstep." The shepherd and the black sheep. Okay, I love this. Shepherd is a word I always had difficulty spelling, particularly when I was at school. S-H-E-P-H-E-R-D. Okay, the shepherd and the black sheep. And here you spelt it correctly. Once upon a time there was an orphan young shepherd whose parents had died when he was a baby. Okay, word order. Orphan young shepherd. You want to start, there's a really smart way of doing this. You need young to go before orphan, and there's a reason why. There was a young orphan shepherd. Things that are subjective, the most subjective thing comes first, and the most objective thing goes second. Now, young, it's a matter of debate. How young is young? Whereas orphan, either he's an orphan or he's not an orphan, and this is completely objective. Whereas young is more subjective than orphan, and that's why we have this word order, young orphan shepherd, as opposed to an orphan young shepherd. A young orphan shepherd. The most subjective ideas first. A beautiful young shepherd. Because beautiful is even a beautiful young orphan shepherd. Beautiful is even more subjective than young. Okay, a beautiful young 20-year-old orphan shepherd, or an orphan 20-year-old shepherd. I think I would probably put young 20-year-old orphan shepherd. But the most subjective to the most objective, and just try that word order and it nearly always works. Years later, he managed to earn some money, which he used to buy a few sheep. So, okay, there's nothing wrong with a few sheep, but I'm sure you can use something more interesting than a few. Used to buy a flock of sheep. At the beginning of the summer, he took his herd to the green valley across the little river near his village. Where his sheep could graze and had plenty of water. Yeah, it works fine. So, as this was a place where his sheep could graze and would have plenty of water. Sheep could graze and would have plenty of water. There he was on his own. But the company of the sheep made him happy. He sheared them, helped them to deliver their lambs. So, instead of ... just add one more little thing. So, he sheared them, helped them to deliver their lambs. And looked after their welfare. One day, after a long working day, he wrapped himself up in a blanket he had just finished weaving, with the wool of the only black sheep he had. So day and day, this is not good. So one day after a long working day, after a long okay, let's change this one then. Once so it came to pass that after one particular long working day, he wrapped himself up in a blanket he has just finished weaving. So it came to pass that one particular long working day, he wrapped himself up in a blanket he had just finished weaving. And I would put a semicolon here. If you can, try and include semicolons in your writing. They're very good. It shows that you know how to use them. It had been made with the wool. With the wool. It had been made from the wool of the only black sheep he had. He curled up all snug and warm and went out like a light. Okay, I would like to front this sentence, and so using fronting, changing the order. Out like a light he went. It just gives this a really nice little bit of style. Fronting is putting something at the beginning of the sentence, is changing the word order. And out like a light he went. Suddenly it was a hot day, and he was by the seashore. Off the coast there was a castle on an islet. I like this islet. And out of the window in its turret, a stunning princess was yelling at him, "Help, help." Okay, so firstly, this at is wrong, because normally at, if you yell at somebody, you shout at somebody, you are angry, was yelling to him. This to, you're asking for something. Yell at, shout at is angry. Yell to, shout to, you're passing information. Off the coast there was a castle on an islet, and out of the window in its turret, and out of its turret window, noun collocation, a stunning princess was yelling to him. "Help, help!" I think, let's see, was yelling to him. Full stop. "Help, help!" The princess lured him to the castle. Without hesitation, the young man dived in and swam towards her. Yeah, dived in is fine. Dived into the sea, but dived in and swam towards her. Being so young and without parents, nobody had told him that, the legend has it, I would say it's better without the, that legend has it, that if anyone shears a black sheep and uses its wool to cover themselves without the up. To cover up is covering is cover yourself up. To cover yourself, it's much better to cover themselves. Covering up has more this idea of hiding. The sheep will cast a spell on that person so that will cast a spell on that person. And as a result, no one will ever dare to use her wool. Little did he know that by using her wool he had irritated the sheep. Therefore, because of what? You see, this therefore is not it doesn't follow on. Anyway, you're trying to use a linker, and I'm trying to find a suitable linker. Therefore the shepherd went on swimming no matter how. Therefore, as a result of the princess being there. I'm tempted just to say so. Yeah, I guess therefore would work as a result of the princess's cries. Yeah. As a consequence of the princess's cries. As a consequence of the princess's cries, the shepherd structure here. The shepherd went on swimming no matter how tired he was. The shepherd swam and went on swimming no matter how tired he became. Okay, and went on swimming no matter how tired he became, till he reached the far shore. As soon as he set foot on the islet, he ran towards the castle, shouting to the princess. Good, not shouting at, shouting to. Here I am to protect you. And at these words, he crumbled to dust on the doorstep. Well done, you worked it in. Okay, so how am I going to mark this? Let's see. The English is pretty good. I think you need to be a little bit more ambitious with your writing. Try things even if you get them wrong. I think overall it's quite well written, and I would give it 6.5, maybe 7 at 6.5 at C2. The mistakes, I don't think that there are very, very few mistakes. I think this shepherd at the beginning, but most of the things I've been, my corrections are to improve it, to improve the style. So accuracy at C2, I'm probably going to give you an 8 in accuracy. The style, but this is style of writing. It's not exactly the style of a great novelist, but well, you're not a professional novelist. The range of vocabulary and structures used, I think the range of vocabulary, probably 8. The range of structures, maybe 7. It reads very well. So continuity, maybe, I think maybe 6.5, something like that. But overall, it's a good effort and well done. So there you go.